Thanks for joining us this week. It's been fun having you on, especially your activities on the social media space, the Twitter handle, the Facebook, letting us know that there are things we're doing right. And of course, if you have anything that you're not too comfortable with, you can get back to me at Abimbola Fash on Twitter. Today, I have a very, very important guest in the house. Like I said, he used to be my boss, but right now, he's my guest. He's the regional manager for Tricontinental Nigeria, West Africa, here Victoria Land, Lagos, where he oversees the business of that region across the West African zone. His name is Shola Olojede, and he'll be here with me together. We'll take a look at the sector generally. We want to do a comparative analysis on the ICT sector. How have we fared? What should be expected? What are we doing right, and what should we do? How can we leapfrog on the advantages and, of course, the challenges that we have? How can we overcome all of that and make the best of that sector such that Nigeria can take a pride of place within the global space? This and many more we'll be talking about today, but don't go anywhere because this is where to be, and it's info.com. I'll be right back after this time out. You're welcome back to the studios of Lagos Television. You're still on to info.com. I told you I have Shola Olojede. He used to be my boss so many years ago. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
So how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And how is the work?
Well, we thank God.
It is
Thank
well.
God. I mean, as regional head for Tricontinental, how is business generally?
Business, I would say business is good because the technology and the awareness in the public is getting a little bit better. And then people are looking at IT is the way to go to do virtually everything that you need to do today. So even looking at your phone, whatever it is, everybody is like tweeting on Facebook, everything. And this all comes out to a base where IT works. So because without the IT at the back end, all this cannot be put together.
Okay, in those days, you used to push a lot of boxes, PCs, you know, I'm sure you're still doing a part of your business is still doing that.
Sure.
But now, we now have a convergence. We have people using their phones to do almost everything. How is the hardware industry faring? How are you making, I mean, sincerely right now, is business still as good as before? Or because I know a lot of you are now moving towards solution.
It's okay.
Okay, so tell me, is the hardware industry doing very well?
The hardware industry today will say it's not doing the way it used to be before because then there was no smartphone. So right now the sales of desktop has gone down. Even the sales of laptop has also come down. So people are looking at smaller devices to make life on the go. iPad, tablets, and all this stuff. Then smartphones. So all these things have come. So now what people are now doing now is that since the boxes, the iron is reducing, therefore people now look at what makes this thing good and which is the solution, the applications that are driving all these things. So from that aspect of it, people are now refocusing their business into solution.
Okay, all right. Thank you so very much for that. But let's now go to the crux of the moment. Are there things that you think the government should be doing to help industries, to help companies like yours to remain, you know, in business?
The thing is that in this country, we do a lot of talk. We come out with policies. So many of these things worked. We will sit down and come up with all these policies. But at the end of the day, we discover that there is no question in all these policies we make. After the policies have been announced, everybody is happy. Then when it comes to implementation, there is a problem. Are you with me? Yes. So now what we advise or what we are suggesting to the government is that how do we get all these small organizations that are doing this thing to focus properly? So we need to go back to the basis that how can we get our government system, the policies, the banks, the public sector, everything to come together and form a proper e-government solution. We're talking about the election, fraud can be removed. We're talking about ghost workers, this can be taken care of just like that. The issue of INEC, when the national ID card started some years ago, we discovered that some people are doing multiple registration, but how do you get to know? It's IT.
That's one of the things we're talking about, that if all the agencies and the statutory institutions are all working together, we then do have a chance to stand with other countries on the global system. Okay, thanks very much, Ololajede. You are not going anywhere because David Olumuyiwa will join us in the next segment. We'll take a look at the data management in Nigeria, the flaws and what should be expected. Don't go anywhere because I'll be right back at the studios. The program is stillinfo.com and my name is B. Fashoyin. I'll be right back. You're welcome back into the studios of Lagos Television. This is stillinfo.com. David, you're welcome to the studios.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
And Shola is still very much with us. Shola, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Before we go into database management, I wanted to take a look at the e-government we talked about. People can accuse us that, look, you guys can stay in the studios there and say whatever you want to say. You don't know what's happening there. But tell us, what exactly do you think we should be doing? We're not just talking about criticizing now. You talked about the movement, the evolution from e-government to m-government.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like even the e-learning.
Yeah.
We're still talking e-learning. People are doing m-learning.
Mobile learning.
Mobile learning. So what is missing? What's the missing? What is the thing that we're missing as a people to move to that level where everybody is on the same page? Somebody is not saying, oh, what you're thinking is too futuristic. Let's deal with now.
Until we change our mindsets about some of these things, we'll probably not get a better result. Until we renew our mind and begin to see things the way we should, we'll probably not make progress. Right now, the level of illiteracy within the circle of policymakers and people who are to implement these policies, the level of, if I would say, cyber illiteracy is so high. A lot of them don't even know what you're talking about when you say e-government. You know, it's so alien to them, it's so futuristic to them, and they begin to wonder what is it talking about. So until we are able to reorientate these people and let them know, let them have a paradigm shift from what they are used to what they should be doing in this day and age. We're talking about the days and age where Facebook is 5 times bigger than Nigeria. We're talking about days where we have over 20 million Nigerians on Facebook. We're talking about days where we have 10 billion internet-enabled devices all over the world. We're talking about days where in schools now, people prefer to read on their tablets than to read their physical books.
That's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge.
We're talking about days where everything has gone digital, and we're still talking about e-government at this time. We're way behind until we are able to change our paradigm. And this has to do a lot with the policymakers, with the people who are driving, you know, our economy, the people who are driving the way we do things in this country. Until we're able to reorientate them and change the way they think, we'll probably not be able to implement some of these things efficiently.
Off the camera, you talked about training.
Yes.
Is that the central theme there?
Absolutely.
Everybody should be trained.
They should
not
be
just us, the government, the handlers. Those guys are the top.
And the people to implement this.
Even
those. Yes.
Okay. All right. We hope that with you guys around, training should be.
They should be willing to be trained.
Okay.
They should be willing. The political will to do some of those things should be there. There are thousands of people in this country who will do this training, you know, in no time and get the things done. People like himself, myself, so many great organizations that we have in this country who will be able to do this training. But then, are they really willing? The common theme when you try to push some of this thing is, what is in it for me? That's what they're looking for. And they're looking for, how much can I take from this? Everybody will eventually take something from it on the long run. We'll all gain from it. But they're concerned about the immediate
The
gratification.
immediate gain.
And that defeats the whole essence.
Let me end this way, like you normally say. They should either evolve
Or dissolve.
or dissolve. Okay. All right, let's go to the main thing. Data management, Shola.
Yeah.
What's your view? Right now, we don't seem to have a central data management base that can, give on the spur of the moment details of anyone's identity. Everybody, somebody called me some time ago and said, hey, I'm this and that. I work in one oil company and blah, blah, blah. I had the number, but I called they said, no, we're not going to share you the details of all of that. Is there something missing? Shouldn't there be a coordinator somewhere, a government agency that can coordinate all of this together? I mean, we all go to America, we go to England, a policeman stops you, he has your details.
Exactly.
Absolutely, so what's wrong?
Like I said off camera today, that number one, there are two types of corruption. There is corruption of the mind and the corruption of the pocket. Now, because the corruption of the mind is something that works 24 hours, it makes people to get the corruption of the pocket easily. Why can't we get a huge database of the country, whereby everybody solicits into it, everybody pays to make sure that thing is working, then everybody is given information as they're required. Now, at the end of the day, this is cheaper for the country and bring more money for the country. But because everybody is doing it, we are spending money. NIMSI will put out a tender, people will rush into it, we spend 12 billion, 20 billion to make NIMSI to work. INEC is also there, we'll spend billions of naira to make INEC to work. Why are we doing this? We are wasting our money. Like some people, they say in the politics, they said wastage. So we need to stop all this wastage, get ourselves together, put the right communication link into the country. Once that one is set up, make our power to work. By the time all this works, then we have a huge database whereby everybody comes in there. INEC will pay to collect their data from this place. Police will pay to collect data from this place. Bank will pay to collect. Banks are the huge, because they spend so much every year for IT, because I'm into the environment. I know that yearly on IT in this country, we spend close to $1 billion.
Wow.
So I can tell you that categorically. But the truth of the matter is that, why are we wasting this money?
Why are we wasting this money?
Corruption. I mean, everybody just want to take everything from everywhere. We do not lack the expertise. Certainly we don't.
Okay, I was going to ask you that. Is it that the technology is...
Oh, no. We do not lack the expertise. We do not lack the technological know-how.
What does it take? What does it take to have a simple central base?
It's as simple as, a bank will put up a server somewhere, put your data on it, and be able to access it anywhere in the world. Probably the most comprehensive national database that we have right now is with the customs, because for you to get your international passport, they have to take your biometrics and the immigrations. They have to take your biometrics and put everything on their system, and that is on a central server, and they access it anywhere within the country, even from outside the country. Now, if you put that on a larger scale and you make it accessible, I think that will have solved the problem. Now, if we try to push it from top to bottom, from bottom up, it might not work, in the sense that the police is having their own, there's pocket of national database everywhere, but it's not everybody that is within the banking population. It's not everybody that goes to banks. So those people are outside of the bank's database. It's not everybody yet that is on the mobile phone.
Something was just going through my head. Now, is it that we don't have inter-cooperative cooperation, interagency cooperation, such that, for example, during the issue of someone going to court and saying a judge was on the line talking to someone, and they asked that operator to bring and they said no. I mean, we don't. It's our clients' confidential, whatever. Is it that there's no enabling law? What about maybe there's no law that will say that the banks or the telecom companies and everybody should submit what they have to a particular server?
Yeah, you want to go
I
first?
think right now there is no law to say that.
So,
Because everybody is like you're on your own. You set up your system, you make up your system. You look at when the telcos environment started about 12, 13 years ago. I don't know why MTN should have his own marks, and then Airtel to have his own marks. Maybe then the name they used to be,
and all of
and
them.
the rest. So why can't we just have one huge marks and have all of them in it, and then you'll be able to reduce costs and have this thing spread across the nation? But it was not so, because there is no law that said they should do that.
Although they started doing that.
Now they are just
Yeah,
thinking
they
of what,
started
look
doing
at
that.
how many years does it take us to get to that level. So right now there is no such law that says that should be, because now how do you protect your own data? The kind of data you are using, the bank will say, look, our data is our data, it's important to us, we don't want to expose people, and because of security. So if there is a policy, now we are talking about cloud. Everybody wants to go cloud. What is cloud? Cloud is you have your database, irrespective of where you are, you get your information. But today, people are even skeptical going cloud, because in Nigeria it's like, oh, if I give this man, he will be looking at my data.
And so on that note, I want to thank you, gentlemen.
You're
Thank you so very
welcome.
much for coming.
Yeah.
I seem to have a lot of beefy big men on my show these days. I think, but we won't go without having you know what it is that's on the world space of technology. So Onyechi, my very, very good friend, will take you on, and on that, we'll sign out on this week's edition of your program, info.com. From me, good night and God bless you.
Hello, and welcome to Know Your Device on info.com. My name is Onyechi Ugoli, and for our very first topic, we will be discussing smartphones. We all know them and we all use them. According to businessnews.com.ng, there are an estimated 12 million smartphones within Nigeria, and this is set to increase over the next year. What would you say smartphones are? Smartphones are all internet-enabled devices that allow us to do so many things on the go. So there's no need for us to wait till we're in front of our laptop or our PC. These are all made possible by each phone having an operating system that allow it to run so many applications. So we can check our emails, make calls, watch movies, download, all from our one device. I've put together a list of 5 top smartphones that we have out there. Number 5 goes to the BlackBerry Passport. This uses BlackBerry's very own operating system. Number 4 goes to the Nokia Lumia 520. 3 goes to the Nokia X, which is an Android phone. Number 2, Samsung's very own Samsung S5, an Android-enabled device. But first place goes to the iPhone 6, the iOS. Before I go, I'll leave you with some Know Your Device advice. Be sure to get your smartphone from a registered reseller, somebody that you know is reputable, so in case anything goes wrong, you know exactly where to go back to. That's all from me this week on Know Your Device. Take care.